everyone. Today I'm going to read the story Don Quixote Going on an Adventure by Miguel De Cervates. I hope you like it. Many years ago, there lived in Spain a very old-fashioned gentleman whom you would have been glad to know. This gentleman had so many odd ways and did so many strange things that he not only amused his neighbors and distressed his friends, but made himself famous throughout the world. What his real name was, no one outside of his village seemed to know. Some said it was this, some said it was that, but his neighbors called him the good Mr. Quixote. He was gentle and kind and very brave, and all who knew him loved him. Mr. Quixote was rather odd in his appearance and dress, as all old-fashioned gentlemen are apt to be. He was more than 50 years of age and quite tall and slender. His face was thin, his nose was long, his hair was turning grey. Mr. Quixote did not work much. He spent almost all his time in reading. He was seldom seen without a book in his hand. When the weather was fine, he would sit in his little library or under the apple trees in his garden and read all day. He often forgot to come to his meals. He was so wrapped up in his books that he forgot his horse, his dog, and even his friends. He forgot himself. Sometimes he sat up and read all night. Now, what kind of books do you suppose he read? He read no histories nor books of travel. He cared nothing for poetry or philosophy. His whole mind was given to stories of knights and their daring deeds. He read so many of these stories that he could not think of anything else. His head was full of knights and knightly deeds, of magic and witchcraft, of tournaments and battlefields. At length, this old-fashioned gentleman said to himself, "Why should I always be a plain farmer and sit here at home? Why may I not become a famous knight?" The more he thought about this matter, the more he wished to be a hero like those of whom he had read in his books. "Yes, I will be a knight," he said to himself. "My mind is fully made up. I will arm myself in a coat of mail. I will mount my noble steed. I will ride out into the world to seek adventures. No danger shall frighten me. With my strong arm, I will go forth to protect the weak and to befriend the friendless. Yes, I will be a knight, and I will fight against error wherever I find it." So he began at once to get ready for his great undertaking. From his store, he fished out some rusty armor, a broken helmet, and a crooked lance, and now he started thinking. He thought that if he could only find as good a name for himself, he would feel like riding out and beginning his adventures at once. For what more could he need? "Every knight," he said, "has the right to put Don at the beginning of his name, for that is a title of honor and respect. Now I shall call myself Don something, but what shall it be?" He studied this question for 8 days. Then a happy thought came into his mind. "I will call myself Don Quixote," he cried, "and since my home is in the district of La Mancha, I shall be known throughout the world as Don Quixote de la Mancha. What name is more noble than that? What title can be more honorable? Next, Don Quixote looked for a squire, for in the old days a knight always had an assistant to attend him. Soon he met a plump and friendly man by the name of Sancho Panza, who agreed to be his squire. Thus, after weeks of labor and study, Don Quixote de la Mancha at length felt himself prepared to ride forth into the world to seek adventures. Don Quixote rode his old horse, which he grandly called Rocinante, and Sancho Panza followed on his grey mule, Dapple. One morning, as they were riding along a highway from a small village to a larger one, they saw a horseman coming slowly towards them. "See there!" cried Don Quixote. "Now I shall have an adventure that will bring glory to my name." "Why do you think so?" asked Sancho. "Do you not see that horseman?" answered Don Quixote. "He wears something on his head that glitters like gold. If I mistake not, he is a knight, and it is Mambrino's helmet that he wears."